So here we are on trail crawlers, something or another. We just came down right there.
So while we were in Portland, we left the cat with an aunt and flew to Kauai. This trip had been a few months in the making, and I had surprised Ben with permits for his birthday. And this footage is all just personal footage. It was for our nieces and nephews. At the beginning here, we were all about it, totally psyched, and by the end, we were in tears.
Getting ready for the big event. No time to be sat on the fence. These nervous times got me unsteady. It's the only time I need.
So where are we, baby?
We are on the Nepali coast. We are about halfway between Hanakapi'e and Honolulu, which is where we'll be staying tonight. And it has been raining off and on. It looks beautiful right now, but we have these awesome ponchos on so that the 6'7" doesn't get wet. So the camera gear is protected.
Yeah.
And our legs are completely mud socked. And the trail is super narrow, but we're like running on high with how epically beautiful it is.
But I don't even know how to get through this.
What you doing?
Huh? I'm trying to take a picture of you. So cute.
So pretty.
Getting ready. It's coming close.
Where are we camping tonight, babe?
Like out right down there.
Somewhere down there.
This is the Hanakapi'e Valley. We didn't know if we were going to get anything but rain the entire time we were there, so when the sun came out at the end of the first day, we were thrilled. But we were still hungry and tired and mostly worried about getting the mud off, so we didn't take a lot of shots that first night. These are our only snapshots. And before we knew it, it was the next day and time to hit the trail again. What you doing, babes?
Trying.
It's a pretty magical place to be.
Taking a quick break. And there's where we're going. The Nepali. All out.
Beach over there.
So Jurassic.
There was nothing to worry about. It wasn't like this throughout. And somehow I got through it. And somehow I got through it.
So here we are on trail crawlers, something or another. We just came down right there. Oh, so pretty. Smell the ocean. There goes Joella. Pretty, gotcha. So that's the valley where people live up there. Walking down Mars. That must be the beach right over there. So here's the Kauai map we talk about in our podcast. I'm just going to kind of bring you up to speed to where we are right now in the video. We flew into Kauai, Hawaii, made our way north with a great cab driver, got dropped off here at the trailhead for the north side of the island, the Nepali coast. And this is where all the flooding happened this last April there in Kauai with record-setting rain. We set out on the hike, We hiked all the way in, and let me show you a little bit closer up here. I don't know how well you can really see this, but here is the Nepali Coast State Park. So as I said, we set out. Those first few miles are really a nice trail, really populated, lots of families and day hikers. And then we kept going, and this is where we start to get really tired and muddy, and the trail gets more difficult. First night campground, and then second day you see us on that crawler's ledge right off the blocks. You come out of the campground and hit it in the first half hour of your hike. And then after that, pretty close after that, you start headed down this Mars, they call it, this red shaly area. And we head down that, and you'll see as we start looking up the coast, we're looking for the beach and the valley here. But finally, we hit the last stretch, and this is where we're at in the video now, where we cross the creek and head down the beach and make our way into camp. How's it feel?
It was one more creek crossing and suddenly we were in the Kalalau Valley. The beach blew us away. It was bigger and more stunning and more secluded than we had even imagined. There are cats, there's fresh fruit. All in all, the whole thing is paradise.
Here we are, made some coffee in the morning. There's our friendly neighbor cat. Come on, Kiki. But the day is gonna be great. 7:04 a.m. Crabs running, and the sea is probably the calmest we've seen it. There, baby.
New best friend. No offense to you, although he kind of looks like you. This is Sky, because he's all black with little flecks of white all over his coat.
Like the night sky, still stars.
Hi. Hi, Sky.
And he has the moon on his chest.
Hi, baby.
Beautiful day. Today, best beach day we've had. Gorgeous, gorgeous mountains. It's unbelievable.
Landscape photography, the Pentax 6'7", all 7 pounds of it.
We just got here. And we're too tired to even ask somebody to take a picture of us.
6 hours and 18 minutes, all 11 miles in one day. And we made it. Look at that. A little blood, a little mud. We are here. Oh my God. We were so exhausted, we didn't take any photos when we got out. Not only was the hike out brutal, but I had blisters and, as it turns out, a pretty severe case of poison ivy. But all in all, we could not recommend the Kauai Trail enough. If you want to hear some tips and tricks, what we do different, what we loved, head to the podcast. And if you want to see the photos we took with that giant camera, head to the blog. Everything is in the show notes below for that. And you guys, thanks so much for being here today. And take a minute to give us a thumbs up and subscribe. And we'll see you next week.